Yo, what's good, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be doing another ranked VOD review of the pro player Zellsis for Sentinels. He is the flex player for Sentinels, and in my opinion, I think he's NA's GOAT. Not necessarily because of individual skill or anything like that, but I think just because of the communication, the flexibility, the mid rounding, the util usage, being a good teammate, all the intangibles that you need to be great at the top level. This guy has them. I haven't worked with him personally, but I've heard only good things about him from his teammates. And yeah, I just wanted to make this video highlighting his ability to be flexible on an agent that he doesn't traditionally play for the team, so that you guys can kind of see that these players at the top level can play anything, right? And anyways, yeah, we're gonna get into the VOD. I have 3 rounds on defense, 3 rounds on attack. I'm just going to talk about whatever I notice. Hopefully you guys learn something from it. I appreciate all the subs, you guys taking the time to watch the ads and watch my videos. I really, really appreciate it. And it means a lot to me. And it helps me continue doing this, to be honest. If you guys aren't a part of my Discord quite yet, feel free to join. There's a link down below in the description. I do offer private coaching. If any of you guys are interested, shoot me a DM. I'd love to get together with you guys, whether it's a consultation, just question and answer, or if you want to do VOD review. I'm also willing to meet with teams if you want to do team VOD review. At the moment, it's the same price. I don't really care if I'm talking to one person or 6 people, so just hit me up. Anyways, let's get into the VOD, okay? So, fade Lotus. Generally, you know, your fade player is going to be starting over towards A majority of the time. That's just because A control is very important in Lotus, on Lotus, especially in ranked. It limits the amount of abilities that the enemy team has. And so if you can shut this down early, generally you can leave somebody there and then rotate away from them and play the map in kind of more of a floody. When I say floody, I mean like with the ability to play kind of 1-3-1, meaning 1 person at A, 3 people towards B or towards the center of the map, with the intention of rotating to either site to assist in the defense. Okay, so here he opens the door, goes for an eye, doesn't throw the eye. Now, most fade players you'll see will start at the barrier. He doesn't start here. It might be because he was just mispositioned in the start of the round, but I actually think this is actually kind of good as well. You want to be opening this door on defense so that if you get pushed off of A, especially when you don't have Viper, you have an escape. Okay, there's no wall to be thrown up to save you from the enemy team if they come out A quickly. So he opens the door for his team. He throws it. He has his eye in his hand, ready to throw it, but he's only going to throw it as a response to the enemy team coming out A. Right? He does this for a couple of reasons. One, there's no use case if nobody comes out. But secondly, when he throws his eye, it's going to show up on the mini map, and the enemy team can see that. And if they see that he's A, maybe they're more likely to speed up C. Okay, so now he maintains some type of element of surprise. Okay, he grabs orb. This is very important on fade. Fade, raise, I think, are the agents that you want to have orb priority on this map. Killjoy can be good as well, but generally fade and raise will have more impact. So whenever you guys are shutting down A, make sure one of you and you or the raise, even if you're playing Sky, somebody's grabbing that orb insta every round. Okay, we want to deny that from the team. We want to deny the space and deny the orb from them. Okay.
This is like 100 on my.
Okay, there's nothing happens here, so he rotates over. He rotates over to C, comes back to A. Prowler's out heaven, sees nothing back sight. Goes for an eye here. Sees the nade drop here. Instead of utiling first, he goes for the peek here. The reason for this is because the nade gives false sense of security that this angle is clear. Now, there's always a world that he could drop back into it. It looks like Bobber, the Clove player here on the other team, is just fighting somebody. But Zellsis realizes that he doesn't need to throw a Prowler here or a Seize before he peeks. He should just go for the peek and get one. Gets 2. Great job. Waits for the door to close. Gets confirmed info, or almost closed. Gets confirmed info that he is inside the door. And then what does he do? Uses his Seize. Okay. It might not mean a lot to you guys, but to me, it shows that he cares about getting maximum. He wants to make the fights as easy as possible for himself, right? The reason he doesn't util out of drop there is because he wants the element of surprise so that he can just shoot and peek the guys in the head. He hears them shooting the other direction, right? So he wants the element of surprise. Here, he prowlers to confirm that the guy is still in tree, Instead of ego peeking him in the 2v1, he throws his C's because he knows it insta-decays the player and now they can't hear. So I really like this round. I think it's a good job by Zellsis, and it also offers an alternative approach on defense on how you can start the rounds as fade. You can open that door and then hold your eye out and use it reactively instead of just throwing it at the start of the round like most fades would. Okay, next round. This is kind of more of a standard start to a round for a fade player, okay? Starting with the C's. So against double dive comps here, your Rays and your Jet, the C's can be really, really good. It can be really oppressive. It can help you establish control of A. So he does this. He seizes. They smoke deep because Clove can't one-way. Deep Roomba, deep dog into an insta-rotation. Okay? So here they go, insta-rotate. And again, this is a little high level, but the macro of the map, generally on attack side, you want one player outside a lobby counting the amount of pieces of util that the defensive team throws. That will tell you a lot about how they're set up, okay? So if you hear, I'll pull up Valid Point really quick. If you hear 3 pieces of util come over here, if you hear the defensive team throw 3 pieces of util in this area, right? So here, 1, 2, and I don't know, what's another one that we could throw? Clove Metal. The one that we see a lot is Omen Blind, right? Something like this. If you see these three pieces of util here, the attack side is going to tell your team, yo, 3A, speed up C, right? So what do? He does the dog to push him back deeper to make it seem like they're pushing through, and then he rotates over towards C with his fatal. Okay, so communicating how he intends to use the ult. This is also very good. Instead of just blindly using it, he wants to do it after they get in, obviously, so he can maximize the amount of pings. Asks confirmation comm ready. Okay, people then will say yes. If you're playing ranked, sometimes they will say no. So you need to be good at reading the body language of your teammates. I'll talk about that in one of the clips coming up. Okay. He ults and then eyes. Okay, so whenever you ult on fade, you want to dump your util. Dump it. You want to rip both dogs if you have them. You want to eye. You want as many things going on the enemy team's screen as possible. Not only is this because it's overstimulating, but honestly, I think a lot of you know, like when you get fade ulted and there's a bunch of util going on, it feels like you have 10 FPS. So it's kind of a huge benefit to your team. Okay, not over peeking here. Goes for peeks here. Peeks with his teammate here on this ping. You can't see on the minimap, but the Jet was behind him as well on the first peek. So this is all good. Going for trades. And then holds a nice tight angle here. Almost dies, but gets a good kill. So this round does a really good job of start of round, securing the A-line, dogging deep, to cause a reaction. And the enemy's reaction is to speed up to the other side of the map, where now he has fataled. When he gets over to C, he tells people how he intends to use the util. He asks them if they're ready, right? And then he just goes for it, and now he's swinging with his teammates. Okay? Next round. Okay, this round I wanted to show you guys because I think it's very important. This is something that I don't see very much of outside of pro play. Okay, look at his buy here. I know this guy is the SEN Classic GOAT, right? But he's got full util, and he's got light armor. And if you can afford light armor, I think it's good. But if you can, you should buy the util more often than not. The reason for it is you determine if you're going to use the util or not. Otherwise, you're going to get it back, even if you die, right? So if you don't use it, you get it back. So you should buy it anyways, because maybe you have a chance of winning the round if you have your util. Most players in this situation would either buy a sheriff or buy no armor and just go classic. He buys the util because he knows he is the determining factor in whether or not he uses this util or not. And if he doesn't use it, he'll have it next round. If he uses it, it's likely because they had a chance to win the round. But he will only have this as an option for himself if he buys the util in the round where he's saving. Hopefully that makes sense. The other thing, if he has money for half armor, if he picks up a gun, anything can happen, right? I really like this, okay? So let's see what happens this round. There's another way to play defense on A, guys, to play passive and to jiggle. Okay? Jiggle, sees the raise out, instant rotation, gets backside. As for his smoke. And by the way, guys, this level of communication by him, this is nothing. This is very, very light. This is ranked streamer Zellsis. And I don't know that. I don't know this 100% because I've never coached him. I've never been on a team with him, but I've seen the Sentinels comms video. This is, don't get the misconception that this is like good comms or anything like that. He's calming what's necessary, which is good, but it's not amazing. But I know that he is a great communicator when he needs to be. So sometimes when you're watching these streams, you know, really try to realize that these guys are paid to play the game and they try their asses off in practice every day. Now this is relaxation mode, okay? So they're in tree here. Ready to seize here with the judge. So this is really good support of Util. Goes for an eye here. By the way, there are better eyes. There are ones, there's a hole in the roof there. You can throw it. But like I said, he's not a fade player on this map. He doesn't know all the lineups. But you can still have impact if you don't know lineups, guys. Watch this. So he just prowlers while his team is fighting. And then he dies. Okay? Nothing crazy this round. But I don't know if his teammates get the kills there that round if he's not buying the util. So this is, always give yourself a chance to win the round, even if you don't have money. Buy up the utility, but make sure you're greedy with it. Only use it if you have a real chance at winning the round. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. I wanted to show that because it's not really a cool clip or anything like that, but it's something that's important that can win you games. Okay. Next round, we're over on attack side now, and so let's just watch and see what happens. Okay, they go for a contact out here. Attack side, guys, is where I really want you to pay attention to how Zellsis is reading the body language of his teammates and letting that dictate how he's using his supportive util. Okay, you see how he has his eye out there like he's ready to throw it, but he sees that his raise is walking. Okay, that's a signal that I'm gonna contact as well, right? So what happens here? Contacting up, a little bit of damage. Eyeing over the top, grabbing orb, prowlering sight. Now, let me be clear. In your games, ideally, you try to communicate all of this stuff, right? But this is what I'm talking about. This is streamer mode, just chill, relax vibes, okay? But this right here is very good. What happens here? He prowlers, he tags one. Notice the angles that he is fighting while his jet is going, okay? Some will call this baiting. I call it covering my teammate. Okay, so he gets the kill there. Here's somebody stairs, backs up into the smoke that the enemy threw, throws a seize, and then re-fights the angle. Clove ults, he gets the kill. Okay, this is really, really good. Don't always think about how you can be supportive with util. Think about how you can be supportive with the angles that you're covering while your teammates are scaling. Sometimes you don't need to be running right next to them step for step. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can hold the angle that they're exposed to, and you can help them win the round. Okay, next round. Meow. Here's another round. Okay, I see. This is very common. Has Fade ult here. Okay, this is another round where he's reading the body language of his team. Verdi goes for a double satchel into sight. This is not communicated, by the way. This is just body language, guys. So a lot of times people are, you know, complaining about comms and ranked, and I get it, trust me. But sometimes you just got to try to do your best to look at the minimap and look at your teammates and read the body language. Now, he knows if he ults here, it might hit somebody, but Verdi's about to confirm whether or not somebody's in the site. Somebody's either going to shoot at Verdi's going to shoot at somebody, and then he can rip the ult. But what does he do instead? Nothing. Okay? What does he do? He does this prowler. He does this prowler because he wants to make sure that nobody's flooding out of waterfall to fight them and go for a sneaky kill. Prowler sees nothing. They get onto site. So now he knows that they're either deep spawn or here in waterfall. What does he do? He pulls his ult out, They fade eye. His reaction is to then use his ult. Okay. Oftentimes, when you're in these post-plant situations, and they haven't even planted the bomb yet, but they've gained control of site, teams are going to be logical in the way that they use their util. If the team throws an eye, it's for a reason. It's because they're ready to retake. Generally, you want to make that assumption. Now, what does he do to stop this retake? Boom. He uses the fatal. One other thing that's cool about Fade is when you ult them, you can see who you detect on the trail. So being able to communicate that to your team, that's something that he should have done, right? Fade spawn, right? Here he's running. He knows that they're Fade ulted. Not a big deal. And again here, this is very similar to the round where he sees the guy in tree. Some people would just peek this and not use their util. Be util minded, be util driven when you can on this agent, on any initiator. Honestly, any agent. Whenever you can use utility to help yourself get a kill, just do it, okay? And if you make mistakes, that's okay, because when you make mistakes, you learn, okay?
What the?
Okay, last round here, guys. Eye out A, spamming the jet smoke, trying to get a kill. Ends up killing the jet. Ults. He knows, and again, maybe I'm reading too much into this, but he didn't hear anybody break the door this round. Okay? So if they're fighting A, that means they're tucked slant. So he goes for an insta ult here. Whenever you're going out A as an attack side, you always want to listen to if teams are breaking the door. It's very, very important. Gives you a lot of information on how aggressively they might be fighting, especially if they don't have Viper. If they have Viper, it's a little bit different because Viper can now pop up the defensive wall for escape. But if they have no Viper, they're likely not fighting up. It's because they have no escape. Okay.
At the box, Clove, at the box.
So here, very good supportive util. I think most people would ult this, throw one Prowler, and sprint at this guy. But he stops and uses a second Prowler. He wants Clove to stay alive. Clove is ulted here. Let's get Clove this kill.
Yep. Just
Boom.
like that. Just like that, we won the game.
And really, that's it, guys. Don't worry too much about the macro or what he does. I think there's some important lessons to be learned here. Defensively, figure out ways to play off of your... actually, not even defensively. On attack side and defense. Can you read the body language of your teammates? Number one. And when you're playing initiator, can you try your best to support them? And when I say body language, look how they're postured. Do they look like they're about to peek? Are they sprinting up? Are they walking up? Are they... And this is mainly if they're not communicating with you. Ideally, they're communicating. But if they aren't, look and guess what they're going to do. Generally, you're going to have a good idea of what your teammate's going to do before he does it. If not, just start trying to get reps guessing, and you'll get better over time. Secondly, when you're going to do something on initiator, if you can, tell people what you're going to do before you're going to do it, and then ask them if they're ready. So ask for confirmation comms, right? It's very, very important. After you have all of your util out, it's really important to make sure that you're just peeking with people. So practicing good fundamentals, good FPS fundamentals, like he did on the round where he was he fade ulted C on Lotus, and he was peeking with his, I think it was his Clove, where he got that 3 kill or that 3K. All that stuff is really important. And then the last thing is, don't always just dump all your util at the start of the round. I really like the 3 ways that he played Lotus defense. One aggressively with the C's, one opening the door, spamming, and then using the eye reactively. And then the third one, jiggle peeking when he was on low buy, and then choosing whether or not he's going to use his utility in the round, right? Remember what I said. It's a very, very important thing to do. When you have the money to buy util, just buy it. As long as you have enough for armor plus your gun next round, you should buy the util, because there's always a chance that you win the round. And if you had the util, you would have won the round using util. You know, then like it's a huge bummer if you don't buy it, right? You want to be able to use it. You should be the person determining whether or not you're going to use it in the round. Sorry, that did not come out right at all. But I fixed it. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you like videos like this. If you want me to do like a different pro player or you have a certain agent that you guys want me to look at, please let me know. I know people were saying Viper Gecko. That's going to be in the works probably either tomorrow or the day after. Okay. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the love, the subs, the comments, the likes, and also showing up in my Twitch stream. I really appreciate that as well. Have a good one, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Drop them down below. I am looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.